Study with me about fishing gears. Episode 2, Seine Nets. Seine nets can be cone-shaped nets with long wings and a cod end, or a long piece of net without a cod end, catching fish by encircling and herding. A seine net is usually framed by a head rope along the upper edge and a foot rope along the lower edge of the net. The weighted foot rope is used to maintain ground contract and reduce net abrasion. The wings are often elongated and used in conjunction with long ropes which act simultaneously for herding fish and for hauling the net. The bunt is typically in the center of the net and may consist of a netting bag similar to a trawl cod end, but some seines may not have a bag. The mesh size in the bunt or the cod end usually determines the size of animals caught. This gear may be set from the shore, beach seine, or from one or two boats, boat seine. Seine nets can also be operated under the ice in fresh and coastal waters in cold regions. 2.1 Beach seines. A beach seine is a long winged net with or without a cod end that encircles fish in shallow waters, typically on a beach. The seine may be set from a small boat or by hand, wading, and hauled to the beach. The net usually extends from the surface to the bottom, both of which act as natural barriers preventing the fish from escaping from the area enclosed by the net. For seines without a cod end, a bunt with small mesh netting is often included. Beach seines are hauled from the beach by hand, automobiles, or winches or other machinery installed on the beach. Historically, animals such as horses were often used for hauling beach seines. See Figure 6, beach seine with a cod end pulled by hand to the beach. Beach seines are widely used in small-scale and artisanal fisheries as well as for fisheries research to sample fish assemblages. Beach seines are the most important fishing gear in countries such as Benin in West Africa, where landings from beach seines comprised 80% of the country's total marine catch in 2000. There were more than 46,000 beach seines in operation in India in 2005. A survey of beach seines in selected countries and an extensive review of beach seine fisheries has been published by FAO. 2.2 Boat seines. A boat seine is a cone-shaped net with elongated wings, seine ropes, and a cod end, and operated by one or two boats capturing fish by encircling and herding. Boat seines are often used on a smooth seabed with fewer obstructions to reduce net damage. Compared with a trawl net, a seine net usually has longer wings and utilizes long heavy ropes, or seine ropes, that extend from the wings of the net through a pair of bridles to increase the area over which fish are herded. A seine net also differs from a trawl in how the gear is operated. A seine net changes its shape during the fishing operation and relies heavily on ropes for herding fish towards the path of the net. Trawls, on the other hand, maintain their shape throughout the fishing operation once the net is stabilized. As a consequence, the path swept by the seine ropes and seine net changes constantly during fishing, whereas the swept width of the trawl remains more or less constant. A boat seine is usually towed slower and for a shorter time than a trawl. The seine can be operated by one or two boats, or pair seining. During the fishing operation, the seine ropes herd the fish into the path of the net. The length of seine rope, to a large extent, determines the shape and size of the fished area. The boat seine is commonly used to catch benthic species such as flounders and soles, but also other demersal species such as cod. For the one boat operation, the ropes and the net are set out by a boat in the following sequence: high flyer, rope, net, and rope to encircle an area of seabed and return to the high flyer. The high flyer acts as a marker and typically includes a buoy, a flag, and a light if operated at night. At the end of the deployment, the boat picks up the high flyer and starts to hold the net using drums or winches. The two main variations of one boat seines are: 1. The Danish seine, and 2. The Scottish seine. In Danish seining, the high flyer, also known as Dan or Dan buoy, is anchored with one end of the seine rope attached to the buoy when the vessel sets out the rope and net to encircle an area. When the vessel returns to the buoy, the boat attaches to the anchor line and the net is hauled. It is therefore also referred to as anchor seining. Several sets can be made around the anchor as the tide turns. In Scottish seining, the deployment sequence is similar, except that the high flyer is not anchored but free floating. Upon retrieving the high flyer, the boat steams forward as the net is hauled, slowly at first but with increasing speed. It is thus also called fly dragging or fly shooting. For the two-boat operation, or pair seining, the second vessel picks up the high flyer that was dropped by the main or shooting vessel, or receives the end of seine rope passed from the shooting vessel. The main vessel pays out the rope, wing, and bunt with cod end, the other wing and the other rope, attempting to encircle a large area. Meanwhile, the second vessel may maneuver accordingly depending on the condition of the sea and the position of the main vessel. When the length of seine rope has been paid out and is equal on each side of the net, the two vessels start to tow the net slowly for a period of time while gradually closing the net. The hauling speed is progressively increased while the ropes are retrieved. Towards the end of the haul, the rope in the second vessel is passed back to the main vessel where the cod end is hauled on board. Danish seines and Scottish seines are widely used around the world. The gear operation and variations of seine fishing were extensively described by Thomson. The history, development, operation, and ecosystem impact of boat seining was reviewed by Walsh and Winger, with primarily focus on its development and application in Canada. See Figure 8. Danish seine or anchor seining as a type of boat seine, showing consecutive 4 sets around an anchor. See Figure 9. Scottish seine or fly dragging or fly shooting as a type of boat seine, showing successive shapes during operation.